Nice. And we are live again. Welcome to my two viewers, Federico Vasconcelos. I'm not sure where you came from, Federico. Welcome to the show. Last week was kind of abortive because I'm doing this now almost entirely off my phone, or rather I'm using my phone and my laptop in a different way than I was using it. So the stream is just going right out through the phone. So I have to figure out how to, okay, got rid of the banners, like turning the banners on and off. And last week I did like a fat finger thing and I deleted myself from the stream, which shows how skillful I am at social media. But and I didn't know how to add myself back in. I'm like, fuck, how do I get back to my own stream? There's a little in the corner down here, there's a little red end button. And I'm like, I don't know how to end. I was like, you know, when you panic and you just try to go faster and faster, like, fuck. You know, this is not working. And then I just said, fuck it. I just ended the stream. And then looking at it later, I saw that there's also a little button down here that says guests. And if I don't know, if I know that if I manage to knock myself off the stream again, like I did last week, to look in guests, and I am a guest on my own show. Like it's a very condensed version of the Windows software that I saw on my laptop. but you know, I don't know. It works better. It works smoother. I think it's going to get like no lagging and anything like that, because this is going straight out through YouTube, and from my end, the video looks real smooth. Hopefully, the audio was good. I just played the regular intro music that I normally play. I don't have it on my phone, but I have it on my laptop. So I have my laptop open up behind what you can see here, or in front of me, and I just played the song off the hard drive, and it seemed to work pretty well. Hopefully, you guys heard it pretty well. I don't know if you heard the audio particularly well. Portuguese guy, we have a pork chop in the chat. That is fascinating. I don't know how you got here, Portuguese guy. I know a few Portuguese people, but I don't know them like well enough to give them my social media. But big fan of going to Portuguese barbecue joints in Elizabeth and around the rest of New Jersey. Oh, anyway, no lag. Good to hear. Excellent. This is exciting. This is not really that exciting. So there was a couple of things. There was some things from like a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to mention, but I didn't get to. One was, you guys probably know who Kevin McDonald is. He wrote all those books, critical or a series of books that are specifically about tribe members, and he just really documents, you know, their overrepresentation in a bunch of things. You know, people who shall dwell alone, and I can't remember them all. There was the one that everyone said you had to read a couple of years ago. I tried reading it, and I got so furious at the intro, I almost threw the book against the wall. Mostly, not primarily because it just reminded me as I was reading it of all the untruths that I had been told over my lifetime that just kind of stick in your head, especially when you're young. You don't think critically about this stuff. You don't think, well, are you bullshitting me? Are you advancing an agenda? Children don't think that way. They just go, they tell you this is the way it is. And, the Jews were tortured in Spain, the Spanish Inquisition, for no reason whatsoever. And that's history. And you accept that. And it isn't, it just kind of sits in the back of your head. It's not, you never, even when you become aware of elite influence and who the elite influences are, you don't go back to what you learned when you were 13 years old and go, oh, now let me re-examine that, school book history lesson. You just don't do that. But later on in life, something reminds you, and then you think back to the Spanish Inquisition or whatever, fill in the blank, any historic pogrom or this or that. It reminds you that your culture of critique. There you go. That's it. Thank you, Federico. Your culture critique was the big one, and that was the big K-Mac book that made kind of made the rounds around the internet, and people who noticed 2016, 2017, and K-Mac became something of a one they called him K-Mac. So he's got like a cool social media name. He's like Cher or Elvis or Prince. You know what I mean? He became popular enough to get his own nickname like that. So, but he's still on Twitter, and I see the stuff he posts. I don't follow anymore. But he said something around Thanksgiving that really kind of annoyed me. He said like, he said it's Thanksgiving and everyone's just stuffing their mouths full of goy slop and watching sports ball while whatever the elites get away with murder or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he referred to Thanksgiving as goy slop, and I kind of bristled at that because on my job I have to drive up and down. I have to fucking eat fast food all the time. I eat at McDonald's and 7-Eleven and fucking Sunoco gas stations and all kinds of fucking places you would not eat normally. You wouldn't go to, but there are all on the routes that I have to travel, and I need an X amount of calories, and that's that. So, and when I eat that stuff, prepackaged corporate food, frozen stuff, like you'd see like in the frozen aisle of the supermarkets and stuff, that in my mind is goislop. That's not food that's fit for civilized people. So if you're, to the idea, to at least to me, like if you're gonna cook a Thanksgiving dinner from beginning to end, which is an enormous labor, that's not goislop. I bristle at him calling it that. You know what I mean? I understand he's old. He's an old dude with, he's got his cool social media name K-Mac, and he's trying to be hip. But don't try that hard. You know what I mean? The small hats will always give you. They'll always give you a ton of opportunities. You don't have to make it up. Don't be a tryhard, Mr. McDonald. Do not be a tryhard. I got a whole bunch of notes, but man, this was the title of tonight's stream is 1488 plus 2, and it's kind of tied into my last week's stream, which was Catboy and Jungle Milk, which was a great fucking. That is maybe one of the greatest fucking titles I've come up with. And like I said, I fucked up the whole show by not knowing what I was doing with the phone. But 1488 plus 2, obviously an obvious reference to Kanye West and the disaster. For people that were hoping that Kanye West was going to somehow jumpstart a conversation that's like long overdue, a conversation that probably should be run by somebody like K-Mac. That was never going to happen. The two top people who both came from Richard Spencer, and Richard Spencer is a spook as sure as the fucking sun rises in the east. What's his name? Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos. They both, they got onto him like super fast. I joked when he first started talking about this. Somebody should get me in touch with Kanye, because I could prep him for these debates. I could have him destroy people. Like I could have had him like I could have had him make what's his name, Tim Pool, cry and beg for mercy. Like I could have really, I would have prepped him. I would have walked him through a whole bunch of stuff and a lot of responses. But it's never going to happen. What they ended up doing. Let me let's see. Let's do this. I've got a way to show photos without having to do screen shares. Where's the one? Here it is. Let's go with this. See how I'm going to do this. Now I've got to shut the cam off for a moment, and we're going to move. I'm going to move some things, and we're going to go like, I don't know, a little bit. Oh wait, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the camera. All right, so that's me again, but now I got to go to settings, right, and then flip the camera. Can I flip the camera? I flip the camera. What do you see? I flip. Oh yeah, there we go. Flip the camera, and there we go. Here is, right, Kanye West praises Nazis during Alex Jones interview. I see good things about Hitler. So the big sort of media beginning of all this was Kanye puts on a fucking hood to look like Al Qaeda and says, "I love Hitler. I see good things about Hitler." Like, if you don't understand that ends the conversation forever, then you don't understand anything, right? These are the two guys responsible. There's Nick Fuentes dressed in a sweat hood, even though he normally, when he does social media, always wears a suit. There's Kanye, there's Milo, they're on a private jet. In the corner, I don't think how you can see it. Nick's got a bottle of water. He's drinking Fiji water. I go to private jet ports all the time. I don't know who has Fiji water. A lot of them have Avion, which really isn't that good. But yeah, I mean, you think about the power to put these two fucking people on a private jet with Kanye. Like, that's I tweeted out that, I don't want to hear any criticism of the CIA ever again because they shut this motherfucker down faster than you can say that be racist. You know what I mean? They put their two best people on him to make sure that anything he had to say, anything he has to say is completely dismissed and will be dismissed like forever, right? Because you're crazy as fucking Kanye. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna stop the cam for 1 second while I switch the camera stand. What happened? All right, so I'm back. So the fact that they can do that and no one else can even come near them was really like super, super interesting, man. There's no way you can. I did not intend to do that. Now things are not going the way I want them to go. Go back to comments. Block user, put users I don't want. How about we just. Okay. Now I'm learning. If I accidentally hit your comment, it lights up on the screen. StreamYards didn't tell me that, so I'm struggling to figure out how to make that come off like it's a banner that I don't want. Why is it there? And all you do is you tap it again and it goes away. Okay, we're still learning. Well, what a learning curve we're on. But yeah, the control. I said that CIA's fucking got America locked down, and America is the only thing that fucking matters, right? Controlling who gets to say what conversations happen, and what kind of conversations don't happen is critical to controlling the United States. So, like, you can talk shit about fucking Iran or China or Venezuela or whatever fucking they're doing. They tried this and they fell on their face and they got embarrassed this way. They got embarrassed that way. That all may be true, and people are like, haha, the CIA sucks. Well, they fucking shut down conversation about Jewish power permanently, right? You're as crazy as Kanye West. You look like a fucking Al Qaeda guy, and you publicly say, I like Adolf Hitler. That's it. You're a crazy fucking loon. You are dismissed forever. The conversation, anything you have to say, no one's going to ever listen to you, and that's a genius fucking move. If you look at it from their point of view, right? You really look at it from their point of view. This is fucking perfect. Anyone who repeats anything Kanye says now is a fucking nutcase. One, they can use that to have you fucking involuntarily fucking put in a mental ward, right? They'll just build on this and build on this and build on this. Oh, are you a Second Amendment person? Well, you know what? Guess what? That's a red flag. If you're crazy as Kanye, right? You're talking about how great Hitler is and all this shit. And there's tons of people, and I'm glad I left them past. There are really people. I talk about it. Bitcoin's going to become the global reserve currency. The U.S. dollar is going to hyperinflate. It's become worthless paper, or near worthless paper, in the relative near future, because it just won't stop printing. You know what I mean? The endless money printing is going to have very real consequences, and people say, well, that's never going to happen. You're being ridiculous. Well, you know what? Those same people are waiting for fucking Adolf Hitler to be reincarnated. They're just farming outrage. Oh, look at what this one's done. Look at what that one's done. Look at the black crime rate. Look at this elite Jewish flaunting of their fucking power. How they, how a set of rules for us, but no rules for them. And they're trying to farm outrage, and we're going to wake everyone up. It doesn't matter if everybody's awake or fucking not awake. That is the dumbest fucking strategy ever. That's also a strategy for somebody who ain't going to do no fucking work. Oh, what are you doing? I'm raising consciousness. I'm waking people up. You know what I mean? You got you're fucking anti-Semitic Paul Revere or some shit like that. You gave yourself this fucking job, like the easiest job you could possibly have, because all the really hard stuff you expect other people to do, which, by the way, they're not going to do. They have no practice at it. It's hard and scary. The negative consequences are very real, and you're not going to give them any reward for doing it. So trust me, pal, it ain't going to happen, right? All of these fucking people that consider themselves geniuses. Oh, I read this book. Oh, look at this book I read. It's this fucking thick. And it was written by some guy who never had a job, who died 400 years ago in Europe. And that makes me a genius because I can quote fucking lines of text from a book some guy who never had a job 400 years ago wrote. I can regurgitate that to you. So I'm a genius. So I don't ever have to fucking get my hands dirty or any such fucking thing. It's the stupidest shit ever. You wonder why fucking people hate you when you talk that way. You wonder why you got fucking beaten in your fucking lunch money taken every day of your fucking life. And you think if you just fomented a fucking outrage porn, that somehow Adolf Hitler's going to get reincarnated and everyone's going to think to themselves, oh my God, my father, my grandfather, my grandparents were on the wrong side in World War II. If only America would have lost World War II, we'd be in a paradise. It would be perfect. We would have achieved utopia if only America could have lost World War II. Like, that's how fucking, this is what these retards think. And when I say, listen, Bitcoin, it's the hardest money ever, blah, 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 blah. It's not controlled by the state. It's controlled by math and software. It's based on proof of work, not on proof of stake, da, 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 da. Like all this stuff about Bitcoin, people go, oh, you're crazy. I'm not the fucking crazy one. I'm not waiting for Hitler to be reincarnated, and I'm not trying to convince 330 million Americans that their grandparents were the bad guys in World War II. I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean? When it comes to crazy, you're way deeper into that end of the pool than I am. You know what I mean? I'm dipping my toes in the kiddie pool relative to you motherfuckers. So the 1488 plus 2 really, which I started talking about an hour ago, refers to 1688, which is the year that the city of London was formed. And people don't understand what the city of London is. The city of London is not London, England. It's a city inside London, England. It's about 1 square mile. There are cast iron dragons on all 4 corners of this fucking thing. About 10,000 people work there, and it is a private city established just for bankers, just for the Rothschilds. So when the Rothschilds established their city within London that no one is allowed to get into, the Queen's not allowed to go there unless, and the Rothschilds have their own police, they have their own government, they have everything that's theirs, their city within London. People don't understand that London, England, is not the same as the city of London. This is the level of control they established hundreds of years ago, right? And that it shockingly, if you look at the American Federal Reserve is a private corporation, and all their buildings are private corporations, and no one's allowed to go in there. The IRS is not allowed to go in there. Not Congress is not allowed to go in there. Not the FBI, not the CIA. Nobody's allowed into the Federal Reserve if the Federal Reserve doesn't want you there. So all these calls of you're going to audit the Federal Reserve, this and that, that's not going to happen, because the template for controlling, in the case of England, the city of London, right? The city of London controlled London, England controlled the rest of the country. And in America, they used a slightly different format. They called it different things. They spread it out over a wider geographical area, because of course, America is a much larger country. They didn't need one central location like the city of London. But 1488, right, plus 2, 1488 being the supposedly the white supremacist mantra, we must secure a homeland for ourselves and a future for white children, and the 88 being HH, or Heil Hitler, right? So 1488 plus 2, you get 1688, and that's when the Rothschilds took over London. I mean, they took over the city of London, which took over the nation of fucking England. And for all these people who they constantly think you're going to rearrange something somehow, you're going to change the government without changing the money, you're phenomenally stupid. Like, you're if you look at the wrong metrics and you draw the wrong conclusions again and again and again, and you always end up fucking depressed, angry, and shocked. Let me suggest you fucking do this differently, right? Because you think you've got it right, but you really don't have it right. It's like, you're trying to eat a bowl of soup, right? Trying to eat a bowl of soup, but you're using a steak knife. You know what I mean? And you go, well, the steak knife is the king of utensils. You know what I mean? This is the apex utensil in the utensil drawer. Yeah, okay, but it's not good for a bowl of soup. You know what I mean? You're using the wrong tool for the job. You're always going to fail. You're just going to end up hurting yourself. And you're going to overcomplicate something that should be simple. And that's what a ton of people are doing. And the reason why you're doing that is because you don't have a real answer for why things are fucked up and how to fix them. And the reason why I have contempt for all my previous audience is that they're just basically white communists, right? You're white communist in the sense that you don't like blacks and you don't like Jews, but you never talk about fucking economics. There's no talk about fucking money, economics. There's no talk about any of that shit. You know what I mean? It's simply pointing out that the Jews suck, and this is not a fucking new observation, right? It's been made at least 109 times before. Pointing out that they suck is not providing a viable alternative to their fucking system. That's what Bitcoin is, or that's what Bitcoin could be, and we'll see we'll see whether or not that actually happens. But every other method, they love to blame. Everybody wants to shit on democracy, right? And I've heard that for a couple of years. And just to be a prick, just to take the opposite side of it, I started saying, well, why does democracy rule the earth? Like, if it sucks as bad as you say it does, if it's corrupt and it's about to flop over at any minute and it's weak and it's ineffective and blah, 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 how come it covers the earth? And then when you ask a question like that, they don't have a fucking answer. They just go quiet. They're like, nerd. They're like, well, fucking, whatever, drag queen story hour. But if you look on Russian websites, they're catching these Russian Orthodox priests with fucking choir boys, and they're catching them the Russian cops are catching them doing all the same shit that Roman Catholics are doing and the Jews fucking doing, these fucking school teachers do. Predators seek easy prey, and there's easy prey everywhere, from broken families, and a destroyed culture, a culture where all the fucking value is extracted upwards to an ever shrinking elite. That's Russia since forever, and that's the West today. It was China, the same thing. China had great civilizational advances. They used to be able to deliver like hot food, delivered to your home in the 1940s if you were super rich. You know what I mean? You could tell a restaurant to stay open, and that was for like the one rich guy in the whole fucking province, but everybody else was starving to fucking death. And they go, oh, look how civilized the Chinese are. America doesn't have this. In the 1930s and the 1940s. Yeah, but everyone in America had food. You know what I mean? They didn't have it delivered to them by some fucking coolie, you know what I mean, who's going to get fucking whipped and beaten if the soup is not fucking hot enough. But everybody had food in America, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of people in China starved. So, depending on what metric you're looking at, and then what percentage of the population benefits, right? And that orientation tells you a lot about you and a lot about the quality of your ideas. And if all you're looking to do, right, is wait for Hitler to be reincarnated so you can do a podcast, like the Hitler gets reincarnated, he makes all the blacks swim back to Africa with a Jew strapped to their back. You applaud. Hitler comes to your house one day, rings the doorbell, hands you a suitcase full of fucking $100 bills, and gives you a hug and a kiss and tells you to have a nice fucking day. That's not going to happen, right? And if you're expecting something like that's going to happen in America, you are fucking more delusional than I can possibly describe. And that this refers to, there's a lot of people that have a different version. Some people it's Donald Trump, some people it's Ron DeSantis, or whatever it's going to be, Tulsi Gabbard. It's going to, none of this is going to happen until you fix the money. You're not going to fix the world or any significant part of it. You're just going to be conned or subverted or made to look like a fucking lunatic, which is what they did to our man Kanye. And they're gonna, when the other thing, let's go to some elite propaganda that is like fucking beyond beyond. Where is it? Here, this one. Let me see. Yeah, this is a great one. Stand by. There it is. Sam Bankman-Fried. This is the guy that just stole $10 billion that won the FTX disaster. Yeah, he's trying to find the guy who did this. So this is the dude that just stole billions and billions of dollars in crypto. He was from MIT. His parents are lawyers at Stanford, and they're whatever. He lost 10 billion. He accidentally bought or $16 million house for his parents, and he didn't know he was signing for his parents. All this incredibly stupid shit. He has a partner in crime, which is this one right here. Supposedly they were having amphetamine-fueled orgies. Like unironically, this is a chick. They said her name is Caroline something or other. That's really what she looks like, man. They said she ran away to Hong Kong to escape the authorities, but she's at some coffee shop in downtown Soho, in New York City, as relaxed as he can be. She has brought a little dog with her. I didn't show that in the picture, but yeah, this is nobody is worried at all, right? And so they're going to tell you that Sam Bankman-Fried is going to, he's really the victim. He's going to look for the real thief, and he's we have to give him a chance to fucking do whatever. I don't know. Harvard University finally gets on the Bitcoin train. Harvard says to central banks, you should buy some Bitcoin. This was November 22 of this year. So even Harvard is thinking, you know what, there could be a future here you might want to pay attention to. If it's reached the Harvard level, dudes, it's getting up there. You know what? I don't want to show this. I want to show the other one. I want to show this one. Here's another fucking, in terms of the level of propaganda, they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want. You can't stop them, right? The saintly Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy that just stole the 10 billion, was on a mission from God to save humanity, but was unfairly destroyed by his evil enemies. This is the Wall Street Journal. This is the Wall Street Journal headline. You think this is like some comic book fucking headline? This is the Wall Street Journal. And you know what? They can print stories like this all day, every fucking day. And then there's on Twitter and other social media. Twitter is a big deal. That's why they let Elon Musk take it over. It's a big deal. This guy's named Jason Lowry, and he's a spook who was in the U.S. Space Force. He was some kind of officer for really the Space Force that Donald Trump created. So, and he does a stupid thing where he says that Bitcoin is a weapon, blah, 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 blah. But he's sent, his task is to fucking destroy Bitcoin, and good luck with that. I'm not building an echo chamber for myself. I'm using a network targeting technique employed by the Russian Federation to entrap Bitcoin maxis in their own echo chamber. and marginalize them. I'm going to explain to them how this attack works and unblock those who acknowledge this. The father of the girl was a big win. Yes. The SEC, of course. Listen, all the alphabets are in bed with these people. That's what you fail to comprehend. All the alphabets are run by these people. They are protected by the people who own the U.S. government. The U.S. government works to protect central bankers. It doesn't work for any other fucking reason. So this was the guy from a couple of weeks ago. Do you know that the Communist Manifesto states that the fifth plank of communism is central banks, centralization of credit in the hands of the state by means of a national bank with state capital and an exclusive monopoly? Okay, if you want to change anything, you got to change central banks. You got to change central banking, right? That's what you got to change. You don't change that, you ain't changing shit. You're literally, you're not even rearranging the deck chairs on the fucking on the Titanic. You're not even doing that. Not even doing that. Stand by. So that's all my screen shares. That's pretty much all my screen shares. Pretty much all of them. Gotta make sure I don't run out of juice halfway through this. We don't want to run out of power. But yeah, okay. The fact that these people are going to absolutely get away with it. The Wall Street Journal is going to write about some evildoer, some shadowy super coder who hacked. He hacked into FTX and stole the money. So this guy, even though he's already admitted to like fucking 20 felonies. But that's all going to go into the water underneath the bridge. He'll help write new legislation, on how to stop this in the future. Blah, 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 blah. He ain't doing a day in jail. She ain't doing a day in jail. All the money they stole, they stole. I don't think they stole all of it. I think the CIA got a lot of it. But they were very well compensated for their role in this thing. And that's the way it's going to be. And you aren't going to be able to stop it. And part of the reason why the Hunter Biden laptop thing is coming out now is to help bury that FTX thing, right? To help bury the fact that this guy had, forget about the MIT thing, which is a credentialist thing. He was a licensed stockbroker. Supposedly this guy was a genius who made billions trading crypto, which is bullshit. But he was like an MIT double degree genius who made billions trading crypto for a company called Jane Street, Jane, Jane Street, which is a Wall Street firm that nobody's ever heard of, or few have ever heard of. So he supposedly knows securities law, because you have to know securities law in order to get a license to become a trader, right? Which is what this guy supposedly was. So, all these credentials, your fucking degrees, your fucking licenses, it's all bullshit. I cannot be any more anti-fucking credential than I am now. Like, anybody that sticks a diploma in my face, I want to smash you in the head with a baseball. You know what I mean? I want to invite you up to the top of a building, like a 4-story building, in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? And then we're going to have a conversation on the top of the building. And then both of us are going to end up on the sidewalk, except only one of us is going to use the stairs to walk down. You know what I mean? Do you follow what I'm saying? Because I'm fucking done. I'm done with your credentials. And if you can't make a fucking argument, you can go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? If you do stupid shit in the chat, I just fucking ban you. Just like I give a fuck. You know what I mean? Believe me, I ain't doing this shit for fucking clicks. I'm not doing this to build a fucking big audience. I tell people routinely to fucking unsubscribe because you don't belong here. Most people, you really don't belong here. Also, I have no fucking alcohol. Well, I could have got out. Again, this is one of those, I could have went out and got alcohol, but I said, fuck it, I didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, the elites are fucking doing what they always do, right? They're stealing from the levels below them, and they're not paying a price. And until you, whatever I don't know, ideology you think you have, until you can stop them, until you can clap those motherfuckers in iron and fucking irons and throw them in a fucking jail cell, until you can have a court fucking convict them, to do 25 fucking years in Supermax with the Dindus and the fucking MS-13 Beaners. When you have that kind of power, you'll have power. But the rest of the time, you're just some fucking dork waiting for fucking Adolf Hitler to fucking rescue you, the reincarnated Adolf, or whoever the fuck you think it's going to be. Democracy is going to fall over. Hitler's going to come back. He's going to make all the bad guys run away to wherever fucking land, and then utopia will be achieved. Get the fuck away from me. That's why I tell people that's really what they think in their fucking heart of hearts. And that's why I tell people, get the fuck away. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's pure impotent rage fantasy shit. And I don't tolerate listening to it anymore. I just don't tolerate listening to it. What else did I write? I wrote a bunch of stuff. Oh, my transgender medications. A couple of people might know I started taking that drug Clomifene. It's just about 2 weeks ago. Everything's fine. I have no side effects. I actually I'm feeling pretty good. I'm very happy that I did that. I don't know when that shit's gonna peak. I know like steroid people, I think they peak at like 12 weeks. Like everything way back in the day, like just switch gears a little bit. Talk about some Lift Pro stuff. That people with low testosterone or people who took steroids usually peaked after like 12 weeks. There would always be my amazing 12-week transformation. You know what I mean? They'd always say, I drink this fucking vitamin water and I dropped 20 pounds of fat and gained 15 pounds of muscle in 12 weeks. It's incredible. Well, of course it's incredible because it's impossible. You know what I mean? With steroids, it's possible. And you could eat fucking candy and ice cream all fucking day and still gain 25 pounds of muscle on steroids by doing any moderate kind of fucking workout. So, but for me, I'm 57 now, you know what I mean? And my, Everett, hello, Everett, have you been here before? I don't know. It might be feds. They might be feds. I don't remember in Everett. But now I got 4 viewers. Look at this. Audience growing by leaps and bounds. The point about the Lift Bro shit is that after you're 38, your testosterone goes down, down, down. And I passed 38 a long time ago. I passed 48 a long time ago. Yes, this is my one and only Dindu Nuffins, my Colin Flaherty special. God rest his soul. He would not touch the JQ. June, welcome to the show. I know. I remember. Colin Flaherty would not touch the JQ with a 10-foot pole, but still, what he did do in terms of racial differences in crime was important, and he woke up a lot of people, and I'd probably saved a lot of people's lives because it gave them kind of permission to act on their instincts, or at least to hone their instincts to save themselves and people they cared about. So, but anyway, the transgender meds, they're not really transgender meds, but it's a female fertility drug called Clomifene that reacts very differently in male physiology than female physiology. And that shit's working fucking great. I fucking literally fucking pop out of fucking bed in the morning like I'm 25. I'm not really 25, but I don't get out of bed fucking moaning and groaning, complaining that my fucking hips don't work right and my ankle hurts. So that's a big plus. I'm gonna keep going with this shit. So if you're like nearly a boomer, like I'm nearly a fucking boomer, and you're looking to hold off whatever, whatever weakness and senility, this stuff might be for you. It might be for you. It might not be for you. If you have a lot of money and you just want to go on testosterone, go on testosterone. But if you don't want to do that, and I didn't want to do that because I had a heart attack, what this drug basically does is it switches your testosterone production on and just keeps it on. It's all you to whatever the max is going to be. So I'm liking that a lot. I'm in a very positive mood, even though I don't always have a good reason to be in a positive mood. But that's a function of higher testosterone. It's definitely working. There's other specific things that are a bit earthy that I won't quite go into. I won't go into that. Yeah. What was the other one? Oh yeah, there was some other stuff. There was other stuff here. People, when I don't want to open two of those. One of those. People assume that trying to find the right. There it is. People assume that because others have a lot of money or something that they're smarter than them, or it's like the IQ number. It's bullshit. It's not. It doesn't really work that way. I want to show you something really funny. To me, it's fucking hilarious. And when you understand that the elites really are nowhere near they're nothing like what they are portrayed, and I mean like nothing like what they're portrayed. So here it is. Bill Gates would be worth $800 billion today if he never sold his Microsoft shares, right? He became friends with Warren Buffett, however, and started to diversify his portfolio. He's only worth a mere $106 billion. And you might be thinking, well, who cares? It's still $106 billion or something like that. But you're not getting it, man. That's got to burn like to no end for this guy. There's no way he could be happy knowing he could have 800 billion. He could be as rich or richer than the richest man. He could be the richest man on earth if he didn't listen to fucking Warren Buffett. But he decided to listen to Warren Buffett, and now he's got a measly. He has to limp along on a measly $100 million. But and then what was the other thing? But also speaking of money, here's why Joe Biden's going to become fucking president in 2024. Here's 100% why he's going to become president. It worked last time, and it'll work. It'll work now. Ron DeSantis, maybe he's going to have to wait for 2028. So California reparations, right, could see Newsom give Black Americans $223,000 each. Damn, I am gonna buy me a Popeyes chicken franchise. Like, you know what I mean? Like real fast. Like, you know what I mean? You want a Popeyes chicken franchise or anything involving chicken, frying oil, anything like that. Because the reparations thing, whether it happens or it doesn't happen, that's going to get Biden in 2024. It's 100% going to get Biden in 2024. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand hardly anything. All right, give me a second again. I just don't want to, like, when I move the camera around a lot, I don't want people to get like seasick watching me fucking fidget with shit. But there's only two motivations in all of human experience, right? There's only two incentives. Do what I tell you to do, and I'll give you a reward that you want. I'll give you money, sex, cookies, whatever the fuck it is. And that's a positive reinforcement. And the other one is, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to hurt you. That's it. That's literally the only two things that exist for human beings: positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. And all your ideology, all your fucking politics, all your fucking, it's all bullshit. There's literally never been a system devised by anyone that has effectively stopped corruption. Every single political ideology, kings have been betrayed, communists were fucking corrupted. Everybody's got their fucking hand out. You cannot overcome human incentive with ideology. It simply has not happened, And it will not ever happen because someone will always find a way to corrupt the system. They'll always find a way to game the system. But if you believe that can happen, you wait for Hitler to, whatever, Hitler or Jesus, or maybe they'll both be reincarnated together. Maybe they'll run I don't know who gets the top of the ticket, who gets the bottom of the ticket. They'll come back and save the earth. Who the fuck knows? I mock these people mercilessly because they deserve to be mocked mercilessly. You know what I mean? There's stupid white communists who don't like fucking blacks or Jews and don't know how to deal with either one of them. So you can effectively dismiss them and all of their fucking ideas. These people have been like completely fucking wrong about everything for, I don't know, the last 6 or 7 years. But fuck if they don't just, they act like they never said that. Oh, no, that's not true. Well, you know what we need? We need to unify. We need unification, the unification callers. I want everyone to unify. I want to fucking unify, a 45 caliber round with your fucking skull. That's what I'm going to unify. Fuck you to fucking say. You're going to tell people what to do and what not to do. Trust me, you're not in that position. You're never going to be in that position. They mock these communists like these nose ring, purple-haired freaks that are all tattooed, that they think once communism is achieved, they'll be artists or poets or something like that. They won't be digging ditches, you know what I mean? Which is what they really be doing, That's like they mock them, You're no different. You were absolutely no fucking different, And the fact that you're really not smart enough and experienced in the world enough to understand that the commies, the left, whatever you want to call them, they're the foot soldiers for the central bankers. They will do the work and have done the work for the central bankers since forever. And there is no right wing. The right wing doesn't exist. It literally does not exist. There are various different people who don't like communists, some of which have resisted them effectively, some not so effectively. But the communists do the bidding of the central bankers. They frighten people. They will kill people. They'll take over entire countries and transfer that wealth to their masters in the city of London. You know what I mean? Or the Bank of International Settlements or the Federal Reserve Bank of America. That's the reality, right? Antifa, BLM, running around burning stuff, and the police just sitting there doing nothing, allowing them to do this. Nobody, piles of bricks appearing in cities all across the United States right before the road, just a pile of bricks right in the middle of the street, and nobody saw where the pile of bricks came from. There's no video of trucks dropping off piles of bricks anywhere, right? They just appeared there, and then then it's a blah 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 George Floyd riot, and then look, there just happened to be 300 bricks right in the middle of downtown Minneapolis, or fill in the blanks. And again, not one picture of one truck or anybody or any explanation of how those fucking bricks got there, right? And we're all just supposed to pretend, yeah, that didn't happen. They set this up. They control this from top to fucking bottom. If you don't fix the money, you don't fix the world. And the fact that you can't talk about this is you choosing your own irrelevance. You have chosen to be an irrelevant nothing. Okay. You may think that what I think is going to work is not going to work. You may think it's quixotic or unlikely. All right, whatever. But having listened to a bunch of different people for a long time, you're living in a Marvel comic book world. It's just not Marvel comic book themes and fucking characters. Your vision of what you think is going to happen is equally as fantastic as fucking Iron Man flying through the air in his little suit and zapping the bad guys with a laser beam on his fucking hand or whatever he does. Pretty sure that's what he does. So that's, you're no different than them. And you want to live in a dream world, live in a dream world. It's very dangerous because when your bubble gets burst, it's going to get fucking burst hard, and you're not going to have the skills to cope, to fucking deal with these people. You know what I mean? To deal with situations that are going to have very real consequences. and whipping out your IQ score, from junior high school or whatever, whenever there's a fucking test of your IQ, is hardly going to impress anyone, like hardly anyone. So you need to pay attention to different things, start expecting people to behave the way they have always behaved, then base your decisions on that, right? Like, what are you going to do? To be honest, was saying for like more than a year, like I expected the entire fucking economy to collapse, and a bunch of other people did too. And then I realized I was fucking wrong. I'm looking around; it's not. I'm looking at these people in supermarkets going back to movies once the COVID thing was over. Everybody's running around like nothing happened, and I'm like, these dummies don't know what's about to happen, except it didn't happen. And then I'm like, wait a minute, they're not the dummy. I'm the fucking dummy. I'm sitting here waiting for the end of the fucking world, when the world is not going to fucking end this year and probably won't end in my lifetime. So I changed the way I was thinking, what I was doing, and that's a fucking pretty important. But you won't give up on the dream. So you know what I mean. You're going to be you will consign yourself to mumbling in the corner as an irrelevant kook, and if that's the future you want for yourself, then that's the future you'll have. I'm not doing that, bro. I am not doing that. So you have to, I see all these people, this content, that content, they're always looking for more. Like I can't even fucking, so many people, I can't, like I start reading the stuff that they tweet, like in the second line, I'm like, I'll just fucking on, they're eternal adolescents, and I'm, you know what, too old. I have too little fucking time left in my life for your bullshit. So you're not funny, you're not entertaining. You're a shitty white communist who deserves to die starving and fucking homeless. So you don't like Jews, you don't like blacks. Big fucking deal. You know what I mean? With that and $3.50, you can buy a gallon of gasoline in the state of New Jersey. Nobody gives a fuck. You're helping fucking no one. You're inspiring fucking no one. You're not cheering anybody up. You know what I mean? You're just sitting there, waiting for fucking the return of your authoritarian savior, and ignoring the fact that democracy covers the fucking earth. You know what I mean? And I don't think there are any real threats to it anytime soon. It may not be, obviously the money problem is corrupting it, but it's still the best system out there. And I'd love to hear you cry about this, because your salty tears bring me joy, because the difference between you and like a crackhead in the ghetto is like a crackhead, whatever, they're talking to that crack genie. Who did that fucking thing? Like, their imaginary genie that tells them what to do, which is just their brain on crack. You really think a lot the same way. You imagine all the shit's gonna happen that it's fucking happen, right? You imagine you think you're getting information from beyond. It's literally as unrealistic as the crackhead who's arguing with fucking reality. You're doing the same, except you don't waste your money on crack. You waste your money on, I don't know, Hitler Youth knives or some stupid shit. Or whatever, like pictures of Augusto Pinochet, you know what I mean? Which you could probably download for free, but you probably bought the signed print or something. You know what I mean? I wish you the best. You know what I mean? If you're American, I mostly like people in this country. I don't like the government, but I like the people, and most of them are pretty nice, at least the ones I've met. And I wish you the best, but you're going to be like the fucking butt end of a joke. You're going to be like some viral video as you try and navigate the fucking world, guided by your delusions rather than being guided by reality. And that's that's going to end up being unintentionally funny for a lot of people you never met. They're going to end up laughing at you and your misery. But whatever. I think I've run out of everything I've ever done. So what am I going to say? Oh yeah, well, you know what? I want to see if I can play this video. This would be like awesome level. I don't know what level of awesomeness this would be, but I think I can fucking play video, right? Can I play video? StreamYard said I can play video. I want to see if I can do that. I just don't know. I click more, I get that. What? No, not that one. Hold on. Layout. Not that. Where's the? Oh, wait, brand. Oh yeah, wait a minute. This is it. Find the right button. I want to see if I can play this video. This would be crazy. I can't believe you could do that. That is, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that on my laptop. I could do it on my phone. You upload the video to like StreamYard servers, and then and then you just play it, which is that's actually pretty good. That gives me, look at the I'm still learning stuff. That gives me opportunities now. Now when I understand, I just got to figure out which is the right part of my screen to click. But there's one that's a standard template that they call countdown. I'll hit that one now. Just this is the world you live in. There was one more screen share. I'll show you. If you think, you got to understand that doing this off a fucking a $99 cell phone that I bought standby that I bought from off of Craigslist is it's pretty wild, right? You can do this. Here's what the future looks like, and you can like it or you can not like it, but this is the reality, right? Here we go. Protecting our nation one face at a time, right? Facial recognition technology from your friends at U.S. Department of Customs and what does it say? Customs and Border Protection. Like it or not, you live in a digital world where you come and go, where you're allowed to come and go, who sees you, all the tools are being put in place to radically change how we live and what we do. And screaming about it, you don't have the power to stop this, and you're not going to have the power to stop this. So you better figure out how to make this work for you, because if you don't, you're going to be miserable. But the video clip thing, I cannot believe how many. I want to see how many more video clips could I fucking add. I have some bizarro shit on my phone, but I have some stuff that I don't even know where some of this stuff is. Let's see if I can do this. This is mildly anti-Semitic. This is mildly anti-Semitic. Stand by, it's loading. It's loading back. It's pretty quick. These short video clips are fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. Come on, it's still processing. Works perfect. Yeah, right. June, absolutely. This is going to open up an all new venue, whatever, vistas for anti-Semitism.
The thing that makes Judaism dangerous to everybody, to every race, to every nation, to every idea, is that we smash things that aren't true. We don't believe in the boundaries of nation state. We don't believe in the ideas of these individual gods that protect individual groups of people. These are all artificial constructions, and Judaism really teaches us how to see that. In a sense, our detractors have us right, in that we are a corrosive force. We're breaking down the false gods of all nations and all people because they're not real. And that's very upsetting to people.
I keep that on my phone. I show that to like various random people that I think would be sympathetic to hearing that message, but that they could just make it spit off my phone like that. That's pretty fucking cool. That is crazy cool. I hope you guys like that, because I want to be able to do that. Like, these short video clips, there's so much stuff I could get up on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could show people that. And I'm like, oh, I got a 12-year-old crappy laptop, and I'm running the stupid fucking YouTube channel of a phone. But this, whatever StreamYard has done with this, with the current software, man, has taken even the crappy equipment that I have, and made it much more capable. I can delete that video. Let me see. But I don't want to do Pepe again. But you could play with Pepe. This is crazy cool. This is so much fun for me. This is so much fun. I don't even know what that one is. Some of these I don't know what it is. This is one. Where was this one? I took in. This was when I was in Greece not that long ago, and I wanted to back in September, and I wanted to do like these short videos to show my family back here in the U.S. Like just a quickie little things. But I'm so fucking locked down on Facebook that they won't let me upload like anything, like nothing. So I was really pissed off. I thought it was like, because I had a crappy $12 SIM card that I bought at Omonia Square from some Indian dude, and I only had 2G internet. But there's no way I can upload this to Facebook. And again, it was just meant to be like a quickie thing. So this is like 23 seconds. This is me wandering around some parts of the city, or one part of the city.
Okay, so now I'm in the central market of Athens in the fish section, and of all the insane things you'll see in Greece, this is the only place you will not find any cats. How that's possible, I don't know, because this would be like literally a drug factory for cats, but there is not one cat within 100 meters of this place.
How funny is that, right? I was walking there, like, that's that place. Of course, that smells like it got every fish in the world. You can't find a cat anywhere, and anywhere else you go in Greece, there's cats everywhere. Cats in fucking houses, cats in trees, cats in a fucking on top of the ruins. There's cats everywhere, except in the fish market. I thought that was hilarious. But this new play video, this new play videos. Is there a Greek Pepe? Oh yeah, there's a Greek Pepe. How am I gonna show it? Hold on. It's Mediterranean Pepe, I would say. I wouldn't say it's background. Wait a minute. What else do I have? Stand by. What if I put over StreamYard over? What is that? No, that's not that good. Customize logo. Background. What if I did? Oh no, I got it. No, it's not background. Why can't I just show? I can't find it. Cannot find it. I'll have it. Whatever. I'll have it next week. But there's a Mediterranean one. I did it. The what's his name? If you look at the beginning of the show, like the banner for the show is like it's a Pepe with a Roman helmet and a sword. There's a million Pepes. I was one. Hold stand by. there was one I was gonna do. That was like a military Pepe. He's got a helmet on. He's got a satellite radio, and there's like barbed wire and stuff behind him, and he's like whatever, like behind enemy lines, Pepe. And I was like, I wanted to show that as the avatar to the beginning of the video, but whatever the size of the JPEG is, you can only show like a tiny piece of it. And I was like, I couldn't get it right. And then the time was coming up, and I had to like hit the go button or not hit the go button. But this fun stuff. I can't believe how fun this is. You can do all this shit. I can now show videos as if I have way more sophistication and technology than I really do. That was crazy fun. Federico, will Elon make Twitter better? The Pentagon makes everything better, bro. How do you think the Pentagon's making the Ukraine better? It's going to make it made 9/11 better. You know. Here's Federico. The point I was trying to make earlier. The level of fucking propaganda that Sam Bankman-Fried was going to save the world until some evil person smashed his dream of whatever. Like really, like the Wall Street Journal writing something that crazy. That's the same thing as Elon fucking fixing Twitter. Elon's not fixing Twitter. Elon owned an emerald mine, right? His family owned an emerald mine in Zimbabwe. He was bald in his 20s, going bald in his 20s. They picked him. He was fucking picked. He bought the electric car company from two South African guys. He didn't invent the cars. He didn't build the cars. He didn't do none of them. You know what I mean? And he gets all these government subsidies to fucking build factories and make the batteries and blah, 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 and gets fucking zero interest loans. And his fucking SpaceX, whatever his rocket company, he launches all satellites for fucking Pentagon and CIA. He's not a renegade outsider billionaire. Those things don't exist. That's why I tell you, you believe in shit that's as dumb as Iron Man. Okay, believing that Elon Musk is going to save the world is the same as believing in Iron Man. Iron Man, he's really a super rich guy, and he's a jerk, but he has a special suit and he flies around and there's a laser beam in his hand and he beats up the bad guy and the world's a better place. You know, that you buy into that. They're making this guy into fucking Iron Man right in front of your face, and you don't see that. When I tell you, you focus on the wrong things and you draw the wrong conclusions. I'm not saying that just to be charming. You know what I mean? I'm saying it because it's factually correct. You're looking at the wrong information and drawing the wrong conclusions from it. When I see Elon Musk, the billionaire with a heart of gold, who's really, really fighting for free speech by buying Twitter. Twitter's a gigantic Pentagon fucking honeypot at this point. They can make it do whatever they want to make it do, and everybody's noticed Twitter hasn't changed that much. You know, it really hasn't changed that much at all. Still, tons of accounts are banned. There's a lot of people haven't come back. You know, they will encourage you to say and do stupid shit, and then they'll look at who you're friends with and who they're friends with, and they'll map out, you know, everybody. Are there any connections between you and somebody who may or may not do something illegal, so that the federal government can make some felony cases off you, or whatever, or some NGO, the ADL or whatever, can farm some outrage amongst the general public over your behavior or your speech or whatever, that they can use to advance some legislation where let's just get rid of that First Amendment thing, because it's just too dangerous. Someone like X, Y, and Z on Twitter said blankety blank. You know, he's worse than Kanye. You know, how they're going to spin it, I don't know, but that's what they're going to do. And when I do shit like this, when I talk about, you know, making the Africans swim back to fucking, making the blacks swim back to Africa with the Jews strapped to their back. When I say that, in my mind, like if I'm going to have a fantasy, this is one of my fantasies, that this shit gets recorded by the NSA and they show it to like Abe Foxman at the ADL, right? So Abe Foxman is there, big fat bastard with a big round face, sitting there, and they're like, Mr. Foxman, this is a notorious anti-Semite. You know what I mean? And they show a clip of me, and I say whatever the fuck I say. I say, you fucking you foreskin sucking felons that run the U.S. government, and Foxman is like he goes so fucking crazy, and it drives his blood pressure so high that it causes his fucking an aneurysm in his brain, and he keels over and dies. If I could be responsible for that, if my words could bring that day, that glorious day, just a little bit closer, you know what I mean? I would absolutely, I would consider all this time I've sat here worth it. You know what I mean? And to think that maybe I could have that effect. You know what I mean? There's no way you'd ever be able to prove it, but man, that would be glorious. If I ever find out that Abe Foxman died of an aneurysm, in my imagination, it's because he was listening to one of these fucking streams, and I was fucking wailing away like a fucking lunatic, and it just drove his blood pressure beyond whatever, just burst a fucking blood vessel in his head, and he died. That would be a hilariously comic outcome. Him or Greenblatt or any one of those. You know what I mean? Because I've shut some of these things down. I shut down that whatever politically provoked channel. I shut that shit down. Like 12 weeks after I was on there, the thing was over. And they were an outlet that had Richard Spencer and all these other fucking glowies. And I was kind of, what's his name? Norvin kind of didn't explain to me whatever. Well, not that he didn't explain to me, but he kind of dragged me onto one of those shows. And I was tired and drunk at the end of the day after working like 10 hours a day. And then then I was drinking, and then I was on Norvin's show for like 2 hours. And then I went on Politically Provoked on November 13th, Pop on Drink, November 14th, 2021, Pop on Drink and Chat. And I came on at like the 3 hour and 30-minute mark, and I stayed for about an hour. And it wasn't really my best performance because I really was fucking tired. It was already like done 2 hours. But it was like 4 against 1, and I was like just smashing the shit out of them. It was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious. By the way, if you want to invite to come on the show, if you think you want to come on the show, you can send me an email at that email address. You can email me. You can come on as a guest. I have videos. Who knows? Maybe you could play videos on your end. There's possibilities. There are exciting possibilities in the future for free speech and general mischief against the regime. But you got to be smart about it. Anyway, that's my email. You can shoot me an email, request a link, and I'll shoot you a link. And then we can meet up or whatever. That meet up, yeah, cyber meet up, and then you could come on the show, and then you could whatever, I don't know, do something cool. But that's that. You can shoot me an email if you want a link, and if you want to come, on the show, you want to talk about something, or be a guest, or you have funny shit to say. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Because this endless like 115 2-hour monologues, it gets tedious even for me. So anyway, with that, I'm on like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going nonstop. I have more water, but I just don't have anything else to talk about. I don't have anything else to talk about. Yeah, Federico, you got to remember, none of these people have your best interest at heart. You know what I mean? Imagining anyone other than your mom and dad, if they're still with you, if they're still here, have your best interest at heart is naive in the extreme. So, and I would like to disabuse people of that idea, because it will make you act like a fool and may lead you into really genuinely harmful behaviors. So don't do that. All right. With that, and I can even play the outro music. This would be so cool. I'll just shut the camera off, hit the fucking music thing. All right, where's the music? What's this? I feel like I fucking mastered an entirely new skill set, even though it's the same Really, it's the same crappy skill set I had before. But this is making do with very, very limited resources. It's all about maximizing resources. Anyway, I'm gonna go find some fun videos to show next week. I gotta go. I'm now gonna be like a crazy lunatic hunting Twitter for video clips that I can show, and hopefully make this whole thing more entertaining. Frederico, June, whatever lurkers, we got stream snipers. Everybody knows the hobos of the internet, the homeless of the internet, Norvin OV and Sperm Sucker Bateman are always fucking around. They're always looking for content. They have that, even though they get a government paycheck, they have not a spark of creativity anywhere in their head. But with that, yeah, an hour and 23. That's pretty long, long enough. Everybody that showed up, thank you. Everybody that's going to watch in the future, thanks for showing up. And talk to you guys next week.